Test, test, 1 2 1 2. Music's a little loud. Well, let's get going. Let me fix it on mine. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh. Man, I think we're gonna be doing it back to back. We haven't done two weekly shows back to back in a while. We're getting back into it. Sorry, I'm blowing you guys up in the Discord. But welcome to the show. Welcome to the Rainbow Trend Show. This is your dude Runner here for the weekly stream. Do this just about every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I was running a little bit late today. Had to deal with some family stuff coming home from work. And then some other technical difficulties, but we got everything going. I've been playing with some stuff here, looking at the liquidity charts because the freaking liquidations this week were amazing. But anyway, tell your friends, tell your fams, we're going live. And get things going. Let me post it on the Twitter. It says we're live. And let me just pin it. No, I can't because that's got the other one. Well, going live. Alright. So, per the usual, this stream is intended to be used for educational purposes only. It's not meant to be used as financial advice. Remember, this is an art stream. And for those listening and watching, we might be saying goodbye to the site. I'm working on changing this up a little bit and switching over. As you guys know, we did get added onto the Rainbow Trends actual indicator store, which was awesome to finally get on there. And one of their newer things they've kind of added, so busy with live, so automating it directly through their website is a big deal. So I'm looking forward to that. And I've actually been using a lot of the local AI stuff to get us to help with website updates, and it's actually been freaking awesome. But anyway, we got a lot of stuff to go, we got a lot of stuff to chill. If you guys are interested, the old website still works, but we are also officially in TradingView. So if you look at indicators and you go to the store, you can actually find us in here right next to Linton. So, anywho, check us out. You actually get the runner bot in the normal one if you go through them, so you don't have to sign up to the main website anymore. But both options are available for now, but eventually I'm going to transition in and out. So, anyway, what's up, Nexus? Nexus is here. Hello. But yeah, this is what the actual, we're like all set up on their thing now. So it's really, really cool. And it's all handled to them. Very, very legit. On the up and up. But like I said, the website stuff, dudes. Man, the new Quinn 3.8, you can set it up with an agent, and like you can just go update websites. I actually did an update on the echolocate website this week. Made it a lot cleaner, and I still got a lot of stuff I got to fix on it, but this was all straight up vibe coded with Quinn 3.8 on a old 3090. And I actually set a new higher score a little bit this week. I reran the test 75 million tokens later. 3 days worth of crunching, and my office smells like a Chinese data center. So, if you guys don't know, I bought a data center 3090 2-slot turbo back in the day, directly out of China, and it reeked. A smell I've never smelled before, and that's what my office smells like right now, because 3090s have been screaming for 3 days. But I'm going to update this, and I'm actually getting really close to having this hooked up and working like turnkey with Hermes Agent, so it's pretty cool. Get a Hermes Agent that never forgets. Now, while you guys are really here, we're wanting to look at some of the charts. Drop comments in the chat. It's good. Yeah, actually, let me move this forward. Get you guys self some video cards, for sure. You need at least 24 gigabytes of video card RAM. If you're really feeling cool, get 48. Why is it important? Claude Opus 4.8 scored a 49 on the AI Agentic Index back in May. Quinn 3.8 is now 51 in August. So 3 months later, you can run this damn thing on a 3090 and have something stronger than what Opus 4.8 was 3 months ago, which was state of the art. So, video card prices are going through the friggin' roof right now, but it's worth it, guys. I'm really getting FOMO because I was really trying to add another 5060 Ti to my fleet for quite a while, and I just never could find one. But moving on, while you guys are really here, I was watching some traders in one of the discords that I visit outside of the Rainbow Trends one. Shout out 9K and Moonshot. And one of the guys was posting saying, hey, the runner target is for like, or the rainbow runner target for Bitcoin's like 93. And I was like, really? I don't remember this. So he pulled up the old charts, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember what you're talking about. He was talking about this because this is pointing to like the 93 area. So shout out Fire, but let me walk back to this. So I printed this back in like June about saying, hey, I don't know what you guys want to hear. I know doom and gloom, but that's looking like a creek, and we're looking for a potential spring. Lo and behold, it looks like we actually got it. These things are never perfect, but you can get rhyme to the reason with this rainbow stuff as far as what these whales are doing. And if you line it up to realistic time frames, like Wyckoff on a 30-second candles, like it's not a thing. It's usually like my general rule of thumb, if you actually want some accuracy to this crazy Wyckoff stuff, you got to spend a shit ton of time with it, but you've also got to be able to realize most Wyckoff ranges are at least like 2 months. Usually way more than that, but at a minimum, I say 2 months. We're just playing with ourselves. Thing is, though, to print a Wyckoff range, you've really got to get like a wick that is approaching like death wick colors and levels. This one pushed way deep into the reversion bands, printed white candles and bled and killed a lot of bulls on that one, unfortunately. Went through, did another dive down, formed our creek, and now we've had like the pop of all pops. We'll cover it in a bit, but if you guys don't know, that hurt a lot of people. When I say a lot of people, that was one of the biggest liquidation events ever. So shout out to the bears. You get what you deserve. But moving on, I'm going to go back to some of the other charts later in the group, but I wanted to show like high time frame Wyckoff rainbow theory stuff. If you guys actually care about this stuff, Sean was calling it out in the chat. It's hard, like, guys, I spent years developing rainbow tools just so I could see Wyckoff, because I couldn't see it with my naked eyes. You turn all this stuff off and just show me red and green candles, I can't really see it. And I don't recommend anybody doing this, because this was... it's over 10,000 lines of code, and it was done manually before vibe coding, so I've got a lot of regrets in life, but I don't know if I would do it again, needless to say. So long story short, is it worth figuring out how to do Wyckoff? Maybe, maybe not. It's really hard, essentially, is what I'm saying. But when it's also hard, it's also not perfect. But the things that you get with like rainbow theory, when you see this much, that's the beginning of a range. Why is it? Let me send this to the back. Let me screw that up. Send it back. There we go. And pivots back. Hold on. It's bothering me that this are... There we go. Alright. And I just got rid of the candle colors. F sakes. You see why it took us so long to get on the indicator store. Anyway, I digress. The point being, this stuff's not perfect. It's really hard to see it, but what happens is your boy Runner, when he sees a death wick, Runner starts looking for this part. Preliminary support, your SC. I look for the beginning of the range, because that's telling me whales just spent enough energy to print a death wick liquidation. If they're willing to print that, there's a good chance we can go sideways at least for 2 months and get potentially a Wyckoff distribution or accumulation. Could go either way. And then we start really getting sensitive and trying to see here and not get FOMO'd in. And then we really get to look for creeks. Creek jumps are some of the craziest, awesome things to trade ever. And people just, I don't know what, out of all the like clickbait stuff that people interact with on Wyckoff and they get all excited about it, not many people focus on creeks. It's kind of crazy because it's one of the, out of all of this, once you kind of get your radar turned on here and you're like, okay, maybe it's coming, blah, 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 this is the easy thing to see, in my opinion. And then you know really close, once you see this, you know you're on like the second like the second, third, or you're on the third inning of this. You're on the how do you say this? You're over like 66% done once you start seeing this. You're at the tail end. When you're up here, you don't really know how long this thing is. Is it going to be 2 years accumulation like the old Link thing? Is it going to be 6 months? But once you start seeing this, I call it the mountain, the creek, whatever. The mountain that forms the creek. You start seeing the creek. You're kind of on the last quarter, right, of this whole thing printing. And that kind of gives you the time frame of like what this could look like. And lo and behold, we did it, bounce, and now popped. And that's really what you're seeing here. And it's kind of cool. It's not perfect, and I have to Photoshop this for the likes, but let me see if I can kind of... It's hard, but you get the gist. And we've seen it, we've covered it before. These things don't naturally just pop. That's kind of the ideal, but we've seen it where they bam, 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 and then they go. That's really what happened this week. And it's absolutely crazy. We're going to go over some of that stuff. But yeah, Sean, those glory days were great. I miss Twitch days. I do. We used to get way more viewers on there, but committed to the YouTube. We're here with the OG YouTube guys who stuck with me this whole time. So much love, dudes. But moving on. Got to start off with some of the funnier things of this week. So you guys know I'm a Toyota bro. And actually, well, I'm not going to play the audio because I don't know if there's bad things in the audio. I forgot. But I hear it talking so much on the audio. So I actually wanted one of these. This is a Gen 1 Toyota Sequoia. If you don't know, it's the 4.7 Land Cruiser engine inside a large SUV based on the Gen 1 Tundra. These things are cheap and they're awesome. They're not quite a Land Cruiser, but they're like a third of the cost. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, and this is awesome because stat-wise it says there's like 4 people on Twitter watching, but this says 42. There's no way. Someone's lying. So yeah, check this out. This couldn't get any worse. So these are the bears who are trying to keep their shorts intact. This guy had a rough day, dude. Just watch this. It's fantastic. They're trying to help him. Doo-doo-doo. And then it's the Jurassic Park scene with the T-Rex and the Ford Explorer. Poor dude. Imagine explaining this to the insurance company. Anyway. Yeah, I've always wanted one of those. They're cool. You rarely see one, but needless to say, a lot of the bulls made some money this week, and just don't ever let money change you. This is our trader. This is our buddy Stacks. With money definitely changed him. We love the puppers, so we're gonna cover it. But since it's Stacks and we're stocking Toyotas, guys, I don't mean to be that guy, but is anyone else seeing the Toyota channel walk break? Let me turn the audio up. There we go. And yeah, definitely check that out. I don't know about you. Now this is a wild thing. Toyota had a bunch of recalls on the turbo engine, so I've been kind of haven't really looked at this in a while. But dude, check it out. We've got a second channel walk perfectly set up, slightly lower high, going into this, and earnings were green. Bam. Whoa, 63%. Wow. But anyway, I'm actually going to start trading this one and push, or say trading. I'm going to start watching this one heavily. But as much as I like Toyotas, I don't trade the stocks as much. But this is channel walking like textbook, and I wish I'd have caught this earlier at like the 179. But she may go. And she's been doing this since February. Wow. That's a lot of time. But anyway, moving on. Shout out Jintao. If you guys don't know, I'm a big fan of his dog. His name is Huck, which is crazy because that was our previous favorite animals at Rainbow Trends, Huck and Hugo with Dime. But we're moving on. We're moving on to the Jintao clan. So hopefully we can get Jintao with a pups with a rainbow bandana soon. But no, he's got the cutest black lab ever. So he's farming him for the Twitter points. And it's well worth it. Rivian, I don't have a chart for this. I mean, I have a chart, right? But, like, I don't have a really good idea on this one anymore. It was super following this wedge like crazy to a T. Broke out, and now I'm looking for some signs, but what are we looking at here? The lowest low was like $8. It's $16 now, but, dude, it's definitely going sideways. And to be honest, the cars are pretty sick. I like them. I really like the Scout one they're coming out with. But back to the real markets. If you guys don't know, the big, beautiful Clarity Bill, whatever it was called, didn't make it this session. All of Congress is going into recess for the summer break or whatever. They're going to come back in a few months. But basically, the SEC just said, F it. They're going to make some clarity, make their own crypto plan and make some definitions, blah, 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 blah. Maybe that's what we wanted, but lo and behold, you do more of this stuff, you're just kind of institutionalizing Bitcoin when it used to kind of be something on the fringe, so it is what it is. But the big thing that happened this week that you guys didn't see coming, Trump held a crazy press conference. They actually had Sergey of Link on the stand here, Coinbase, you got the Winklevoss in the back. Check this out. This is crazy. So let me turn the audio way up and not below.
I just want to say that what Chairman Selig and Chairman Atkins are doing and the president has enabled with his leadership is actually working. So if you look at stablecoin usage and adoption, it's increasing the usage and distribution of the U.S. dollar at higher and higher levels than our industry has ever seen, specifically because of the Genius Act and the movement of more and more treasuries into stablecoins and therefore into more and more hands across the world. And now the tokenization of equities, thanks to Chairman Selig's and Chairman Atkins' great work and collaboration and actual work together rather than working against each other as before, is going to distribute U.S. equities globally and increase the distribution of those. So, we power a lot of these applications and companies, so we know what the numbers actually are. And they're massively increasing because we have regulators and leadership that enables the success and distribution of these U.S.-based.
All right, I don't know what he's saying, but it's interesting to see this at the least. And the memes were hilarious, but regardless, you think of your days back in 2017 with just some white papers and you see this stuff going down. It's pretty crazy, needless to say. Let me fix the audio. There we go. All right. So anyway, pretty crazy. And lo and behold, crypto market popped this week, my guys. Big, 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 big. I know we've been dead and we've been crying since October 10th. That candle right there, but we're now way above that. To be frank, this has been dead since October 10th. I've had only maybe 2 trades automated wise, like wake up since then. Last set of them, I think, were slightly below break even. Nothing crazy. And typically when I see like the algorithms not popping off on like some of the bot trades, it's usually just means we're in the depths of a bear market and looking for some signs of life. And that's, lo and behold, here we are, Captain Hindsight. It looks like we're actually doing it, dude. But we've seen God candles for the first time in a very long time. People are calling it the reverse October 10th. And they're not wrong. But it's been pretty crazy. So the thing is man, had you been paying $100,000 a month for Trump Truth API, Pay Group had it early. Trump tracker statement. Trump informs investors to just buy all crypto assets. So if Trump is saying buy all crypto assets, let's look at the Bowden chart, see what we're looking at. It's looking like this is one of the biggest Bowden pumps we've had since April 26th. That's a statement. You guys know I'm joking. But it's kind of interesting, and some people were making the memes because they are also, one of the big announcements is the White House was saying they're going to bring Hyperliquid bring it stateside. And the memes for it were just fan-friggin-tastic because the face of the man who 100x longed the hype going into that meeting. You can tell who's long. How this is legal, I have no idea. But welcome to the show. But let's check our hype positions. Bang bang. Yeah, this is awesome. Hype is honestly one of the only things that's been counter moving the Bitcoin downtrend. It's been generally up only, so you saw a big jump here down, but dude, this is nuts. Sean is saying 75K already, and we got Jay on Twitter saying, can you check Tibber? I've never heard of that. We can check it real quick. Rebita by Virtuals. Not a lot of people have this one. This one's really odd looking. Hold on. Go to 1 day. There we go. This one must have recently launched. This thing's so new, it's going to be hard, but you watch the reversion bands is all I can say. When in doubt, that's what I always watch, because that's giving you the never been done before areas. Man, this thing isn't on many exchanges. You're going to be at price discovery probably at that cap, though, to be honest. But moving on. Checking back at Sol. Sol broke my heart. Let me extend that down just for shits and grins. That's actually interesting. But we got to get back above 121, and then we've really got like the Solana party going, which is what we really want to see. But with all that being said, they're Pepe Cinco. No. Is there someone younger that can present your old grandpa? You need an AI that shirt dime. Put 2 cats on it and get it sold or get it bought. But that's what we need to really get moving. But with that being said, if we are talking crypto bottoms, are we talking that Coinbase is bottomed? Is it? Because we have to have that discussion. As much as I'm not so happy with what Coinbase has done lately, especially where is our up-only episodes, guys? Y'all paid a lot of money for that. We're tagging the order blocks. Now hit it kind of once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe. Is this a generational bottom for Coinbase in the next inning? I don't know. But if we're going to say the other crypto assets are bottoming, that one's... You have to watch it without your heart, without your feelings. But checking in real quick. Been popping a lot of the AI stuff off. I've been interested more in kind of these Intel B70s because they're actually were one of the only cheaper things. But these things used to be like $900 for 32 gigs of RAM, and you could run them in a decent station. You'd think otherwise if you looked at the actual Intel charts. Not looking good, albeit this is kind of setting up for a Bart Simpson. You boys don't like Barts. They bleed for a long time. And then, dudes, check this out. B70s used to be $950 like a month or two ago. They're now $1,500 freaking dollars. And even this, the 5070s are approaching $800 now. You secure some cards is all I can say, because the new stuff you can do with the Quinn 3.8s is amazing. But back to crypto while we're here. We used to mine with video cards. Now we mine tokens for AI. How the times have changed. Now, some of the biggest inflows were this week that we've seen in a very, very long time. Considering how dead it's been for a very, very long time, it's really interesting to see a 517 come through, and we still haven't had the numbers come in for today. I pre-populated this early, so let's check it. I refreshed it. Some of these came through 103. It's going to be a big day. Big day. And this is the chart we covered earlier. Like I said, if you guys want to go read all this, this is how it kind of works. Deathwick, order block formed. You get your SC support, you get your mountain, you form your creek, you spring over it, bam, bam, bam. And then one of the really cool things, shout out Pixa. We haven't heard from Pixa in a while. And dude, it's still liquidating people. The reason I'm pausing is it's just printing white H4 RSI candles over and over and over again, and it's going into pink. Or going into purple. It's going to be going into pink soon. But one of the cool things to note is we've got whale cluster prints forming on this thing right before it's sent, which is really cool. I didn't catch this going into it, but it's cool to see that the algos caught it. Bam, 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 poof, gone. And what are we looking at now? What is this candle, or not candle, but this move? So far it's like 17% on an asset this big is awesome. What's up, Dime? Is there someone younger? No, sorry. Sorry, we're stuck with the old voice. I could do a voice changer maybe, and that would be just awful. Now, if we look at the actual chart, this is the normal one with all the order blocks that we've been covering for years now. We've got the 2024 order block. We've got the 2021. We're now above it. And that's a good question, Dime. Dime's asking, do the whale cluster prints work better on perps? In general, I like to go where the most volume is on that type of data. But if you were to do it, I would mainly do it on the like Binance USDT, and then coin. Well, that would be the one I would focus on. But anyway, that's kind of the way I would put it. It also depends on like the coin. There's a lot of stuff that's heavy spot that does also have heavy leverage, and then there's some altcoins as well that just, they're mainly perps and they don't have a lot of actual like legit spot movement, and at that point I'd be watching more of that. Also, like when you're looking at, like, this is Bitstamp, so it's a bit different. Every exchange, like, it's synced to the exchange, so make sure you're looking at that. But one of the things, the one who was really, really good at picking this stuff up, he trades in the lower time frames, like 15 and 30. So if you're really, really in tune with an actual coin, set your alerts on the lower time frames and just start watching when you actually get these alert markers. Because when they start popping off, that's when you really need to pay attention, because you're going to get like well print alerts here, 1, 2, right? But when they start stringing, bam, 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 that's like, it should be like a radar alarm going off when comps are near. And that's what we're in right now on the lower time frames. The reason being is when these things like actually roll, so if you go to the higher time frames, they'll kind of predict the move over here before it actually pumps. If you're going to the lower time frames, you can actually like catch it while it's live, but you've got to be fast, because as awesome as this move is, it's real hard to catch it here. There's not a lot of time, and that was already 7% of the move. That's only 16%, so quite a bit of the move happened just on the first few well prints. So I say well prints, the well cluster prints. If you guys don't know what well cluster prints is, if you go to the tutorials, it fully writes it out on here. Go to the main indicator, it'll tell you all about it. There's a section on the well print clusters, and it'll go into it. But you can read all up on there and understand it. But in short, the triangles are the well prints, and the algorithm detects when there's so many well prints in the last like 10 candles. If it sees more than 3 in like the last 10 candles, it starts putting that bigger indicator on it. And that means big move is in process. Pay the F attention to it right now. Pixa noticed this like 2 or 3 years ago, and I back tested it, and the data was there. It was in the back testing data, so we added it. But that's what that is, and it's in the main indicator. So you can go well prints here, turns the triangles on and off, which are the well prints, and then the well print clusters are here. So there's a table as well for bull prints versus bear prints, and that's how many bull prints in the past 10 candles. So you can turn the table on and off. You can turn the well print cluster alerts on and off. And then you can actually change how many, the threshold for it, if you want 3 in the past 10 candles, 4, 5, etc. So it's very tunable to what you guys need. And you can change the logo too. So those are all now Hucks. So anyway, hope that helps. Good question though. Thank you. But we're blowing through all this stuff. It's awesome. Now, awesome, bullish, because the people on crypto Twitter, right? They're looking at this as the range. Oops. Right? So they're looking at this as the range, and they're like, oh my god, bullish, bulla. And it is. This is bulla, but this is a subsection of a larger one. We haven't got the white candles yet, to be clear. But also remember, we're no longer endorsing the dimes. We're moving on to the Rivians. Gentiles. So most of Twitter is talking about this side of the chart. They're not talking about the whole thing. If you zoom out, it's the Wyckoff setup with a creek, blah, blah, blah. And people argue, oh, the mountain thing for the creek's too high. I don't care. The thing is to be frank, we are printing purple candles, white RSI. It's going to be really, really hard to sustain this. That being said, she's still trucking, and it's been holding white RSIs for a while, and we've been suppressed for quite a long time, and a bunch of bears just got liquidated this week. So it could keep going. This could be the macro bottom, and we'll look at some things next in the YouTube stream and Twitter stream, X stream, whatever you want to call it. that cover some of the things where it could be setting this up. But long story short, we've got 2 more order blocks, 6 basically 77K, and then the next one's like 82. The problem too here is the time frame. These took months. This is happening in like 2 days, and the faster you go, the quicker these reversion bands are going to come in and hit you and start doing it. So Bitcoin starts printing pinks and white RSIs in here. We're going to be looking to blow off some steam at some point. Is it going to fully retrace and go back down? God, I hope not. The vibes feel... This feels amazing. Stuff's kind of popular on Twitter again. But we got a long ways to go. Because, I mean, honestly, if you break this, we're talking about going back for like the 100K run, the 6 figures. And at that point, do we actually hit 6 figures and come back to 50? That's a really weird scenario to talk about. But in general, we keep moving down, but the time frames are showing that we're getting closer. Crypto Paradigm's favorite Bitcoin price after halving tracker. We're getting to the last inning, guys, to where the bottoms kind of are not really there anymore. If we're talking, we basically have worst case scenario 150 days left, which sounds like a lot of time, but that's really not. That's basically end of year. So you've got your time to accumulate here, and then we can roll, right? That's the idea. We never really got our awesome blow off top or anything like that. Just kind of grinded. We sucked, but we did set new all-time highs, which was cool. If you actually go give a shout-out to the stock to flow dudes, because they nailed this thing from years ago, and people have given them hell because their targets are too high. Ignore that friggin' line. That's all you have to do. Ignore that thing. Focus on the colors. That's why you're here. This is an art show. If you guys have noticed... the greens are typically the bottoms. We're green now. Not too long, we're going to be dark green. And you see what happens on the dark green side. The dark green channels. All these people that say the Bitcoin halving cycles don't matter are full of it. They never say that for a full 4 years. The people that say the halvings don't matter, they get about 9 months out of a trend, out of a cycle. And then they quickly shut up and disappear. As you can see, orange and yellows have been the tops yet again. Orange and yellows, tops yet again. Yeah, I've always liked this. The guy banned me once, too. The guy who created this on Twitter. I'm like, I've said nothing, but I like your shit. And he bans me. It's like, awesome, cool. Also checking in on the Mayer multiple. Wow, we're 75 again. Let's go. It's just going. 75.5. Dudes. Okay, live stream, we're bullish. Guys, we're so bullish. In general, if you look at the Mayer multiple tool, one of the greatest tools of all time. When you're not looking at timing halvings, always look at your Mayer multiple. You can look at the Bitcoin halving cycles, you can get your timing, stuff like that, but you can also see am I in the 0.8s, the 0.7s? Like, generally speaking, you can hit some time frames, or not some time frames, some standard deviations where it's just like, it's a good time to buy, historically speaking, for the entire history of Bitcoin's life. These have been really good times to buy. Now, does it always nail the bottom? No, but it does generally get you in the money. And if you can line that up with your timings and halvings and stuff like that, you're going to have a pretty good time. And then in general, there are just some numbers that are like, hey, that bottom band, buy it regardless. Like, doesn't matter. Now, we haven't seen that. We're talking COVID lows and stuff way back there. But occasionally we do hit them. But even then, you get the worst bands. You will see lowers print. So Mayer multiple is a very, very, very high time frame thing. So make sure you look at it accordingly. You're not going to scalp trade with this tool, albeit we have had some Turkish degenerates trade this thing on stocks on low time frame. I don't know why. Crypto Paradigm. There's your additional Bitcoin whale cluster prints. So definitely pay attention. We can check the futures real quick. Honestly, dude, like the Bitcoin Binance data has been so dead. I went to go show you guys high time frame freaking Mayer multiple, and we're looking at this. We looked at link earlier in the chart, Garmin, if you want to go back and look at that. When Sergey was doing his stuff. Pretty sure we did. Take a look anyway. We got nothing but time. It's Thursday, my guys. We're making it into the weekend. There you go. Anyway, there's your chart if you want to screenshot it. Bam, bam. Let me turn Mayer multiple off. Mayer multiple is also a Bitcoin thing, typically. I've seen this. That's what it was written for. People use tools for whatever they want, but yeah. Thing's about to go, dude. It's awesome. But Biz General, if you don't know him or follow him, definitely do. He's awesome. OG. Doesn't shill. Just shows really good data. But they went back and checked it. This is probably the biggest shorts liquidation ever in Bitcoin history. So, no problem, Garmo. So it's pretty cool. Why is it cool? We want to see the bears die. But, mind you, we can only do this for so long. Right? It's like, to put it bluntly, we're not just going to go to 115 and not have a pullback. Like, pullbacks are going to have to happen at some point. Now, mind you, you're like, Runner, if we look at some of the craziest stuff, the reversion bands are up here, sure, but these are like, those are the bands from way back when that thing was super cheap and not as volatile. Now, let me find out where I was because I skipped around. The other one was Ethereum. I actually pulled up the ETF flows for Ethereum because Vitalik's cool, right? Let me refresh these for today and see. Yep, so there's another 8 million. Nothing crazy, but we do want to keep an eye on it. Shout out Bold. I don't even know if he gets paid for these, but I genuinely like his art in general. There's not too many cartoons or artists that I like. Considering how much I do with colors and trading tools, that's kind of weird, I guess. But I genuinely like Bold stuff. If you don't follow him, he's got hilarious comics, and this dude can shit these out. And so fast. It's awesome. So anyway, looking at Ethereum. If you thought Bitcoin was pumping hard, dead Ethereum's been pumping even harder, which is amazing. And we're back to the bottom order range block here. The order block. Macro time. Yeah, I've seen him do the ad stuff, I'm sure. I don't know what Twitter paychecks are nowadays, but who knows. But anyway, I digress. This is a funky chart. You can see me like pointing back to order blocks that are all the way back from freaking... That's my computer about to crash. 2024. That's what we're doing in 2026. But lo and behold, the order blocks still hold. Why do whales like these dashed lines so much? I don't know, but I've seen it time and time again, and it's back tested. So if you're a rainbow trader, use the hell out of these, especially when they start clustering up on each other. It really confirms that it's legit. And you can see it here. Doom, doom, and then ba 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 ba, and then popped, and then it went straight into this one and then slowed down. It's not fake, and it doesn't repaint, so just pay attention to your pivots because they are super good. And ironically, the first version of these pivots that we released, we have not changed them since the initial release. They've been like, the tune we got out of the box was just mint, and we've kept it. So anyway, not trying to brag, but needless to say, what I'm saying is out of all this stuff you see on here, the candles colors are really good. The RSI colors are really, really good. These pivots are amazing. But it takes a little bit of a subtle eye, and that's why I kind of draw these order blocks and label them. But even here, you'll notice, you see how this line here looks a little wavy? That's actually two blocks right on top of each other. So what that means is right now, we're going to have a really interesting contention here at like 23.85, and lo and behold, that's like exactly where it stopped. So the more I can teach you guys, the more you guys can teach me. So believe it or not, a lot of this stuff is like people like, hey, Runner, can you do this? And it's like, I don't know. Let me go try. Then we figure out how to do it, and then we ask, and then basically a lot of this stuff's back tested through bot trading. We basically just have the bots trade Rainbow Trends tools automated, and then we watch and see what they print. And if they can do it automated, we know there's actual signal, and then we'll push it out to production. So anyway, yeah, that's what we're looking at now. The general rainbow theory signal is pink candles, white RSI, start taking profits. If there is anything I can tell you, I'm sure the Ethereum Foundation right now is offloading like mad, as is tradition, right? That being said, Ethereum chart is a high time frame chart, and it's really, really messy. I'm looking at 3-day here, and it's all jumbled because I stream on 4-hour, but just move that. We'll go to 2-day, and there's our... That's the target. Sombrero Vitalik. In general, Ethereum has its heyday around $400 to $4,500, and then that's kind of all she ever writes, and then it just dies off. It's kind of been the story since 2021, right? Really sounds awful, especially since we broke a new high here. Like, Ethereum hadn't had an all-time high in forever. We finally broke it, and then it's like, Bob's your uncle. That's it. We're going down. So it went from like $49.77 all the way down to $1,500. So target-wise, if we're calling for the macro reversal, the target's really up above 4,000. If we're really bullish, guys, that's what we're talking about. So wow, believe it or not, we've got way more viewers this week. Shocking. Price is up and there's more viewers. Love you guys. Drop something in the chat. It wakes up the Twitter algorithm. And why? I don't know. Because I play music from some of our actual users and just stuff I like. I don't monetize any of these videos, even though what would I make, $2, right? But in general, just drop the likes for the vibes. That's all I ask. But anyway, F inflation. Don't adjust for inflation. Don't adjust. In general, guys, you can hate Ethereum all you want. You want this to go up. Number goes up. And the beauty part is there's times when there's like alt season, Ethereum's pumping, and Ethereum goes hard, and it can actually drag Bitcoin up with it. So when Bitcoin stalls and this thing's just ripping, you'll actually see Bitcoin kind of tail it. And then when this thing finally levels off and kind of the shitcoins pop off, they'll go from there. So anyway, yeah, we're actually getting like 7 live viewers on Twitter, which is insane. Twitter usually has like no viewers. But welcome to Rainbow Charts 101. We're trading Vitalik. His personal laptop has a 5090 in it. You should know that, because that's like hardcore trading advice. Now, the important question. Of all the Ethereums, the one that does staking, how's it doing? Not really doing much. Oops, split volume. Ah, shit. I meant to show this. Alright, so one of the odd things, and I didn't cover it in the Bitcoin charts, but let me show you this. This is the Coinbase versus Binance Premium tool. The past 18 months or so, guys, bull moves have happened when Binance was in, or when Coinbase was in control, not Binance. And typically the rhyme to the reason was we saw downtrends when this tool was flagging that Binance was in control and they had the premium. And then we pumped when Coinbase had the premium. Right now, on Bitcoin and Ethereum, Binance is in control and this is pumping mad. And it's some of the biggest pumps we've seen in a very long time. Why am I pointing it out? Something has changed, and I don't know what it is yet. And this should be, if you asked Runner to go look at this, I would expect all of this to be blue and be up here. Look like that. These previous moves were blue. This one's not. Now, it's subtle, but it is trending to flip back to Coinbase bullishness. That is true. But we still have to pay attention to it. And where's the paint marker? There we go. It is trending, so it very well may go here and then flip blue once it's past that. And that may happen, but for the most part, it's interesting as this happened. We had one of the biggest liquidations in all time, so it's really interesting to see that. Another thing that we wanted to point out, because we're getting kind of towards the end of the stream, reminder, at the end of this, we're going to hop in the Rainbow Trends Discord and hang out the rest of the night, so feel free to hop on. It's on the website at the top. We have the Discord link at all times, because it's sometimes hard to find those things. But one of the cool things was Anthropic signs a $9.1 billion 20-year deal with Bitcoin miner Riot Platforms. Now, chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Can you AI mine with ASIC miners? I don't know personally, but I know that you don't mine Bitcoin with NVIDIA graphics cards or data center AI cards. That's not a thing, I know. But if Riot is sitting on mining platforms in a warehouse that aren't really doing so hot on Bitcoin, how does that help pump or actually run the numbers on Claude? I don't know, but I'm interested. I actually probably need to do some more research into this. Albeit, this is one of the things that 9K called way back in the day. So Shout out 9K. And as you can tell from that gigantic news that Riot got a 20-year deal with Anthropic for a ton of money, you can totally tell in the charts that news mattered. There's nothing going on. Earnings are junk, but it's you'd think that would be bullish. Buying numbers for 20 years for Anthropic? That's awesome. But anyway, we're talking mining. I wanted to take a look. Mining hash rate's kind of in a downtrend. I don't want to see that, albeit this would be more concerning if we weren't pumping, but something to keep an eye on. So, another shout out. If you guys don't know Said7, he's he's a Rainbow Trends user. Friend of the show. A legit friend of the show. He's in the Discord too. But I'm a big John Jones fan. I like the artist dudes in real life. And then this guy's Campai Pandas. We like the Panda dudes. He's doing custom ammo cans. This is sick. And the number of wins John Jones had. I don't know about you. I don't know if I've ever seen like a custom 50 cal ammo can, but that's pretty cool. I have some of these like sitting in my closet, and they are nowhere as cool as that. But shout out Said, these are awesome. And that being said, we're coming up to the end of the show. We're gonna go head to the Rainbow Trends Discord. Thanks for coming out. I'll try to see if we can do this again next week. If not, I'll catch the week after. But we are gonna go, like I said, to the Discord, hang out for the rest of the night, talk Toyotas, talk charts, talk coding, talk AI, whatever you guys want, surfing. Open mic. You guys can show me your stuff, and I'll drop the link in the chat. Because some people can't ever find it, but that's it right there. So if you guys want to go see it, we're going to hang out. And thanks again. If you enjoyed any of this content, please like, comment, subscribe, drop a note, shoot us an email. It's all good.